Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Teaching Tip Tuesday. Today, I was going to talk to you about summer. And originally, I thought about all kinds of things I could share about the quote-unquote summer slide. And then I was very quickly reminded, as my own kids were going stir crazy today and, frustrated over certain aspects of distance learning, I remembered that this summer is going to be unlike any that we've experienced before. See, normally during the school year, learning is kind of like a faucet. So you turn the faucet on at the beginning of the school year, and with every drip is new knowledge that your child is gaining, new information from multiple different teachers, multiple different subjects, and the faucet is at full blast, just dripping away with that teaching and learning. In the summer, the faucet's turned off. And so it's, on the responsibility of the parent or the student themselves to kind of fill in those gaps during the summer to keep some knowledge flowing. But this summer, it's going to be even different because our faucet was turned halfway off in March when we were sent home for this quarantine. And our school is still providing really great teaching, and students are learning. They are learning. They're learning new concepts and material, and they are mastering skills. But the reality is it's not the same. It's not what they're used to. And so for both teachers and students, there's this new learning curve. So our faucet has been, dripping a little less for the past couple of months than normal, or dripping differently. So let's say the faucet head was changed, so to speak. So things are just different. And so now we're going to go from that, where we don't have the same amount of teaching and learning happening, the same types of learning occurring, and that day-to-day interaction and being in the classroom with all their classmates and interacting in person with all of their teachers, and just all of the little ins and outs that come with a school day that really add to the educational value and the educational program that your students are getting. They're missing a lot of that. And so I started to think, okay, so what is summer going to look like? How are we going to tackle this one? And I've been doing a lot of research. And so I'm going to continue to do that over the next couple of weeks, and I will be sharing that with you as I look into, what researchers are telling us and what they're learning about the effects on COVID-19 for all schools, staff and students alike, and then looking to a summer program into what we can do, what I can do at home with my own kids, and what you guys can do with yours, so that we're as prepared as we can be in the fall, whatever that may look like. So here are a couple of things that I came up with just to start wrapping your head around. And so 3 things that in the summer that you can already get in your head and in your child's head, that these are some things we're going to focus on to make sure that, we are keeping your brain exercising it. It's not a muscle, we know that, but exercising it like it is, that we can keep doing that during the summer months. And so the first one is to read, just to read. Not necessarily even with anything tied to that or any activity assigned to it. Just to read, to choose a book of their interest on their level, no matter what age, no matter what grade they're in, to choose something that they can read and they can enjoy and they can talk about. So tell them to pick a book that really interests them. And then, encourage them to have some dialogue, whether it's with you or it's with other, kids their age. But just reading a lot and immersing themselves in, lots of things. I always tell my kids they can read the back of the cereal box. I don't care what it is, as long as they're reading and they're learning to love to read. And for older students, they're continuing to foster that love for reading. So that's the first. Number 2, to keep communication with school going. So I know how I felt when I was a kid and it was summer, and it was like, yes, a break from everything school related. But I encourage you to talk with your kids about keeping that homeschool connection going. They can email their teachers can email them. They can talk about things that they've been doing over the summer, and their teachers can share that too. That is really important because that homeschool connection is something that we can continue to foster even in the summer. And number 3 is to continue to focus on connections, especially right now. I know that I've read article after article talking about, the main things that point to success for people in their lives. And it always comes back to connections and how you interact and how you work with people. And so, especially right now when we are all behind computers and having to Zoom and, conducting distance learning, it's so different that we are connecting, but it's not the same. And especially, we know God designed us to be in community with one another. And so we're not able to hug each other and say, hi, how are you doing? Or give someone a pat on the back, for something good, or if they're having a bad day. So continuing to build on connections in the summer will be really important, whether it's with their friends, whether it's with people at school or someone in their church community, but really reminding them and even having them read about the importance of the human connection. So again, to summarize, that's reading, the homeschool connection, and then general connections, keeping those things going. Those are some things to focus on as you look to summer. I know we're all a little unsure what that's still going to look like, but to, tag on to what I talked about in our last Teaching Tip Tuesday, and fostering that those teachable moments, this kind of goes along with that. So there are lots of things that you can still do over the summer that might not look exactly the same. They might not exactly be reading or math or social studies or science in that, that context that we're used to seeing them. But all around us, there are constant opportunities for growth and for learning. So I encourage you to start thinking about those 3 things for the summer. And I will continue to do some research and to share those things with you as I find them. And I will see you all next Tuesday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.